Alright, so now that I've got that in the chat, let's begin. Alright. Hello YouTube, Scamp the Wolf here coming at you with another video for your viewing pleasure, and I'm actually going to be continuing what I started earlier when I got out of the bad guys. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth review a little bit. These are my 3D glasses I got. I saw this in 3D, as you can see. Um, Dory the Hobbit says, hey, in the chat. I don't know if, look, as a side note, I don't know if the chat will be like, I don't think I set it on live replay for the chat, so that's something I do have to say. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Um, I'm here to do a little bit more of a review for the bad guys. So yeah, and if you saw what I said, I thought it was very good. In fact, probably between this and the Batman, this is a pretty good year for movies, I have to say. Like, this is actually going to be a stellar movie year, in my opinion. Um, because both movies are exceptional, I think. And the fact is, I don't even know which one is better, to be honest. Because they're very high. I give both a very enthusiastic thumbs up on that. I'll rate the movie at the end of my talk about it. But yeah, like the bad guys, um, definitely the best DreamWorks movie in a long, long time. And keep in mind, um, I haven't seen a lot of DreamWorks movies. I think the last DreamWorks I saw was some Shrek Forever After or something like that. Um, Either that or How to Train Your Dragon. So it's been a while since I've seen a DreamWorks film, at least in theaters. But yeah, the bad guys definitely a great way to get back into it. Man, I love this movie so much. The action scenes are great. Like, I'm not really gonna give too much away. Uh, Maybe I will, but like the action scenes are fantastic in it. Uh, Especially near the end, like when they get to the third act, I think they're pretty cool looking. The animation is very stylish, very awesome looking, and it does a lot. This director had like a different vision than just making this a typical animated movie. Like a lot of them are made. Like I know that there's been other animated movies that haven't hit the mark, but the Bad Guys does because this animation is very stylish, very expressive. Not the most realistic, but like obviously not. But it doesn't have to be realistic to be good. And this movie is pretty much like a definition of that. Like one of the prime examples of that. Um, yeah, I thought the characters and the casting were pretty good too. Um, yeah, Mr. Wolf is a good character in it. Um, he's voiced by Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Mr. Snake, Aquafina, who you know from Shang-Chi and Ryan and the Last Dragon. She's Miss Tarantula. Craig Robinson is pretty good, and Anthony Ramos is good. Uh, Sassy Beats as Diane, the governor. She's good. She's definitely good. Um, I think a lot of the characters are very good. Like like how they move, and stuff like how they're animated. Of course, I've already said how they're animated, which is good. Um, the plot, it's one of those plots where it's like, okay, they found out somebody was good for them, because the guinea pig character is secretly it's revealed that he's like the bad guy or stuff at the end, and you know what is this isn't a bad version of it because you know they're kind of satirizing that kind of stuff, those kind of tropes and stuff in the movie, and you can tell early on in the movie that this character, Professor Marmalade, he is he's not really a villain. I mean, he's not really. He's probably not a good guy or anything like he says he is in the movie. Like comic, the comedy is pretty good. There's a couple jokes like flatulence jokes that don't really work to my fit. I just don't really care about that kind of humor. Like it has nothing to do with like, oh, it's clever or whatever. It's still not going to work with me that well. There's a couple jokes with Mr. Piranha that, eh, like you could do without really. Like I mean, like I know what they're trying to do and stuff. Like, but it just I just don't really laugh at that kind of humor. It's not really. I mean, if it's done well, it's not really like it's somewhat to the plot or whatever. Like it's kind of what he like. It doesn't happen like the whole movie. Like, but it's just not my kind of humor. I hate to say, but like everything else that's good about it just like kills all the like the negative, like the cons and stuff about it. Like, um, I think my favorite character is the governor, um, the Crimson Paw, also known as Diane Foxington, Governor Foxington. She's cool. Like when her scenes, like when she's like in the end, like when she's the Crimson Paw, she's like going into like where they're going, whatever. I'm not gonna give too much away. Like I just told you she was the Crimson Paw, but whatever. Like she goes in, like takes out all the like the police officers or whatever, like in it, like she like throws a boot at them. That's a cool scene. Like that's very well. It's stylized really well. Like very fast paced. I love how fast paced it is. Like particularly in that scene. Like and when she goes off with Mr. Wolf at the end, and they like plan to stop the guinea pig marmalade from doing stuff. Like that's a cool scene. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of cool scenes in this movie. I think the movie gets better in its second half. Like the first half is already good because they have the opening, which is kind of like a homage to like Pulp Fiction and stuff, which is pretty cool that they're doing that. It's very unique. It's a very clever opening, like that introduces the characters and whatnot. Like, and like, but I think the second half of the movie just really gets good. Like with that chase scene, and with it's just a really good. Like the facial expressions on the characters are good, are well animated. Like I've been saying, and like this would be a movie I definitely recommend to like little kids over like Minions, which they're probably going to see anyways. But like the bad guys would be a good movie for them to see. Like this is the kind of movie that anybody could watch and love. Like this is the kind of movie like if you're like me, if you're like 20 in my late 20s, you could go and see it in the theater and you could have a good time and take note of what they're referencing and have a good time with it, like all that kind of stuff. Like it's good on that level. It's good for like adults. It's good for kids. I don't know about little kids, but like if you're like an older, like maybe elementary school, maybe even middle school, you'll definitely really like this. This is like a perfect kind of family action and comedy kind of film. Like for that, it's kind of like it's one of those like heist films, but for kids, and it does a pretty good job with that. They could have taken this movie, they could have made it like really lame or whatever. They could have had a bad director take this film and like make it lame, but they did not do that. Thank goodness. It still was good. They have a director who knows what he's doing. They have good people involved with this movie. They have a good screenplay. They have a lot of that stuff. They even have a good musical score because I noticed some at the end of the credits. I did notice that they have um, a couple songs in there. I didn't even know like they had a Black Keys song in there. I didn't even know that. The score was pretty cool as well. But like I just saw this at the end of the credits. Like I just saw what songs were being used. There's a song from the heavy that's used in it. Well, yeah, and yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, and the Chemical Brothers is also in it. I noticed that in the credits. Um, yeah, they have a pretty good soundtrack. They have a pretty good, mostly everything, to be honest. So, if I were to give this movie a score, first we have to go to the number grade. Um, Honestly, probably a very strong 9 to a light 10. Either of those two scores, because this movie's just that good. And for the letter score, definitely be an A, for sure. That if you think about it, 9 out of, like, strong 9 to light 10 is also what I gave the Batman, if you didn't notice that. And now I'm giving it to the bad guys. So, yeah, it's Sebastian Warren. You say you want to see that movie called The Bad Guys, definitely go see it. Go see it. So, yeah, that's pretty much my review. The trailers I didn't get very many trailers. I got like 4. Minions, that looks good. Not. Minions, they just need to just stop with the Minions. There's a new Despicable Me movie coming out. That's probably going to be not very good whatsoever. But the other 3 trailers were actually pretty solid. Lightyear, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I heard it was actually going to be like in IMAX screenings of it. It was going to be like 1:4:3 format, like which is like the tall IMAX. I don't know if I'll see it in IMAX, but I'll definitely go check that out because I'm a Toy Story fan. Um, Puss in Boots. There's a new Puss in Boots movie. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but it does look pretty good. Um, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is actually being pushed to 2023. It was that clip that, I'm assuming it's Gwen Stacy, I think, and Spider-Man. I could be wrong, but that looks pretty cool. Um, Actually, it says inspiration for the design of this film. The bad guy came from Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Like, so no surprise that those comparisons are being made. So yeah, definitely. There's definitely no surprise. Whatever. Like, there's a lot of different things about it that are cool, but like, um, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And with that, like, those are the trailers I got. So yeah, leave what you think about the movie in the comment section down below because I'm about to close the stream and I'm about to go on my day. I might watch Turning Red later for those, and I might even do a review for that this week. Something, who knows? I could completely get carried away with my artwork or some other thing in my life and not watch it and forget and then have to postpone it later. But like I promise I will get to that movie. So definitely be out on the lookout for that. And that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is Scamp the Wolf signing out. Take care.